never know what to do. I never know what to do. I never know what to do. For the thumbnails and the titles of these videos. Oh, that was a really. I'm singing. Feeling singy today. Ooh, Justice and the Page of Pentacles. So I'm going to do a self read today. But I guess it's a self read in the context of you, I guess. A generic you. Since I'm doing a self read on the platform instead of just reading for myself. But I have the Spirit Keepers Tarot Vitruvian Edition and the Revelations Editions. I don't know what I'm going to do or how I'm going to do it. But I have both of these decks. Oh, I could do a this side, that side. I haven't done a this side, that side in a minute. So this side, that side is like War, the card game, where you put down 3 cards face down and then you put a card face up. I think aces and pages. Is it aces or how do I do this? No. Is it aces are low, pages are high? And then kings and queens are the same. And all majors beat court cards and minors, but all majors are at the same playing field. I can't remember if I do aces and pages on the same level or if I do aces low, pages high. How do I feel it today? How do I feel it today? I'll do aces and pages are both. Yeah, so it goes 2 to 10, and then aces and pages are the same. Knights beat pages, kings and queens beat knights, but a king and a queen are on equal playing field. And then a major beats everything, but majors are on the same playing field. I've already shuffled these. I'll give them a 3 cut. Oh. I'll do it this way. I've cut them 3 times, and I'll take one from each. Right? I'll do these first. So 2, 3. And then I'll just see what comes out. And we'll see. I'll see if this ends up being a self read. I'll read it as a self read. Ooh. Oh my gosh. And the cards go on the floor. They go on the floor. Of course they do. Oh, well, here's an ace. That's funny because I see an ace. An ace fell on the ground. Or the card that was facing up was an ace. And then I got a page that came out on the other side. And I just said that aces and pages are the same. But these... Oh, there's another ace. What? There's 2 aces on this side? Well, where am I going to put these? I guess I can't use these. If I need to clarify anything, I'll use these to clarify it, I guess. I don't know. I had a feeling that the 7 of Swords card would come out because the 7 of Swords is the 9th degree of Saturn for me. And I was actually thinking about that today. Things continue to wax in the ways they wax. And I'm like, is this real life? Is this for real? Okay. So the page is going to beat the 7 of Swords. And the page also comes with a message. This is very ginseng to me. Or ginger. I don't know what ginseng is good for, so I'm actually going to look that up. Moon in Aquarius. Aquarius new moon was the start of the lunar year. And it was the water tiger. It's interesting, though, between these 2 cards. There's the one in the back watching, And then this Page of Wands is watching. So this side is going to take it. So I'm going to look at these three cards first. The Magus, the Contender, and the Necromancer. Mercury, Saturn and Leo, and Pisces. It's the Magician, the Five of Wands, and the Moon. What did I get myself into? On the other side, it's the Mason, the Wheel of Life, and the Gardener. Mars and Capricorn, Mars is in Capricorn right now, exalted in Capricorn. Jupiter and Saturn in Taurus. It's interesting that both Jupiter came out on one side and Pisces came out on the other side. The Three of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Seven of Pentacles. Together, the 3 and the 7 do make a 10. This is interesting, though. This makes me think of Reem's Pisces reading. I'm going to use this deck to get the message from the messenger. Just one card, please. And it's also interesting that on one side it's major, minor, major. On the other side it's minor, major, minor. Oh my gosh, why am I doing this? Okay, let me just... What is the message? Can I get... Oh, there we go. It's the Two of Pentacles. The tension. Bottom of the deck is the Archangel of Mysteries. And it has... is that the Cholki? I don't think it says Tzolk'in. It might be the Cholki. It looks Mayan, Aztec, Incan. And then under that is the Hangman. So come through all of the little Neptune, Pisces, Jupiter. Come through. It's the Two of Pentacles, the tension, with the Archangel of Mysteries at the bottom. Okay. Jupiter in Capricorn. And then Mars is in Capricorn over here. What am I getting myself into? That's fine. This feels so peripheral. And so like things that I wouldn't even pay attention to. I don't even know if I would necessarily not notice it. I just feel like it would be something that I wouldn't even care about. But maybe it's because I wouldn't care about it. I don't notice it. Because with the moon, the Five of Wands, the moon and the Five of Wands together, it feels like it's an energy. It's like when people are in competition with you and you don't even know that you're competing. One second. But the Magician is here. And it's interesting because when I was shuffling these decks, I actually saw the Magician in the Revelations edition. And in the Revelations edition, I was looking at the Mercury. And this is Mercury. The Mercury. And the other one. And then with the Wheel of Fortune over here, it's almost an energy. One second. Uh, the Wheel of Fortune and the Magician are both ones. See, it feels like it almost feels like if there was an attachment to something, as this Wheel of Fortune is turning and moving, if it's not aligned, it'll strain and tear apart. The Three of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Seven of Pentacles. I am so lost. I should. I'm gonna tough it out. I'm gonna tough it out. Oh, I was gonna look up ginseng, even though it feels more ginger. Oh, well, maybe it could be ginseng. Yeah, that could be ginseng. Okay. What does ginseng do though? Oh, ginseng spiritual properties. I'm so bad at Google. Ficus ginseng, Siberian ginseng. I don't even know. Let's just go with this. Ginseng can certainly help maintain our energy levels. Its traditional actions include supplementing the chi and nourishing the blood while simultaneously calming the mind and spirits. Antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, help regulate blood sugar levels and have benefits for some cancers. What's more, ginseng may strengthen the immune system, enhance brain function, fight fatigue, and improve symptoms of erectile dysfunction. Okay. Sorry. I just wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting any of this. But it's like that's clearly the thing. See, I feel like this is what I'm focused on. The Three of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Seven of Pentacles, this would be what like is on my mind. So while this person is asleep, while this is happening in the back, like this is me. But this energy back here, again, it's sort of coming up. Okay. Okay, all right. It's a little bit of that it feels a little bit, it reads a little bit. It could be a little bit of like guardian angel sort of energy. It's like, when they say that the Lord is fighting battles on our behalf that we're not even necessarily aware of. It's very much this energy. And I feel like that's the moon and the Five of Wands. Excuse me, that's the moon and the Five of Wands while I'm focused on creating whatever I'm creating, right? And then again, with this Two of Pentacles, it's like anything that doesn't align to it will just naturally sort of find itself stressed and torn. And I feel like there is also a little bit of like me not getting caught up in this myself. It feels like there's a certain amount of like focus that needs to be maintained. And I guess like the easiest way I could see this playing out in my life is that like there's a lot of energy that's being given to a certain individual who is just doing more and more and more, and it's like it's reaching the point where it's like I don't even have to make an argument because those who have eyes can clearly see. But it's like not to worry about that. There are things in my life that I want, there are things in my life that I desire. And it's like it's for me to continue to focus on that. There are things that I'm probably unaware of that I don't need to be. Okay. All right, that's cute. So what's next? Um, we'll do these three. Oof. Oof. Limited amount of space. And then I'll flip that one over in a second. Da-na-na-na-na, 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 dun, dun. So next is the Shining Flame, Knight of Wands, and the Journeyman, Eight of Pentacles, Sun in Virgo. This Sun in Virgo is interesting. Eve, I'm doing well. How are you? How are you doing today? Tonight? It's interesting that the Page of Wands came out on one side, and then in the next one, the Knight of Wands comes out on the other side. This would be the sun conjuncting my earth because my sun is in Pisces, so my earth would be in Virgo because the sun is on the opposite side of the earth, right? If that means anything. This is also the Scholar of Souls. And if I read that Page of Wands as the initiate, your thumbs up, that's great. I am thumbs up as well. I went to lunch today and my body did not agree. I was like, I really don't want fast food. I don't want fast food. And then I got fast food. And my body is like, woo, I've had ample time to get some groceries. But I'm getting it together. It's also interesting that now there's a little dragon where there was a salamander before. Let's see. See the little salamander and the dragon right there. So this side is going to take it. The other side is going to take it. See, what's also interesting though, what's first of all, what's interesting is there's a lot of pinnacles in this. But again, because work consumes so much of my time and energy in life right now, it's not surprising. But it feels like there is a little bit of that energy again. It's like it could be read as, while I'm like working on mastering something, there's this other like protective energy here. So let's see. This side is going to take it. So I'm going to look at this side first. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Well, look at this. There's the Herald of the Flame with the message again. And here is the Page of Wands. The Herald of the Flame and the Stronghold of the Flame. That's interesting. Okay, so see, but there's something interesting about like the right side. What started on the right side of this is now bleeding over into the left side. Like it's coming out on the left side. What's on the other side? The Archangel of Healing, the Malays, and the Emperor. And this is interesting because the wounded, like healing the wounded warrior, creates the Emperor. And that's this Eight of Wands energy. This is all clarifying the Eight of Wands energy. And it has an interesting connotation in a lot of the things that I'm kind of sort of being encouraged to experience, I guess. Yeah, I already did that. Hola, Holly. How are you doing? You had pizza for lunch. You know that's a stretch for you. I should have had pizza for lunch. I could have had pizza for lunch. I kind of wanted Mexican, but I wanted Starbucks. So, but I could have ordered Mexican, then got Starbucks, and then see, then that would have been too much. That would have been too much. And I just had pizza a week ago. I got a pizza on the 14th. I don't think I mentioned the cards that came out on the. Oh! It's magic, you know. It's magic. This is the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups in these decks. The Archangel of Healing and the Ivory Shield. This is the queen. This is the king. It's the space of the king. Kings are the archangels. Queens are the shields. Knights are the shining ones. And pages are the heralds or the strongholds. Heralds in Revelation, strongholds in Vitruvian. I didn't even notice that. Your daughter just got a job at Starbucks? Oh, snap. Well, if I ever come to Texas and she gets an order for a matcha lemonade and the name is Patrick, it might be me. Matcha lemonade is like my go-to, and people at Starbucks be like, "What is this?" See, this is interesting. I think it came out this way, or did it come out this way? Well, this is how I laid it out, so it must have came out this way. The ivory, no, I think the keeper was first, and I was like, "Oh snap!" The keeper, the ivory shield, and the herald of the flame are what came out on the other side. The keeper, there are three fools in the Spirit Keeper's Tarot: the initiate, the seeker, and the keeper. The initiate is the green man, typical, like fresh start on a journey. It's the one in search of experience. The seeker is the one who has been on the journey for a minute, but they need something to bridge a gap in understanding. It's the one in search of like knowledge, I think. The keeper is the one who has completed the journey, because the major arcana is the fool's journey through the major arcana, right? The keeper is the one who has completed the journey from the magician to the world and who is in a space of sort of knowing because they've integrated everything along the way. And this is the keeper. Now, the ivory shield in the Revelations edition, for me, she um she stands at that point, which is only for the self to know. And so, like, if I'm reading for somebody and I'm like, ooh, this is getting kind of sort of like core to who you are, or like it's bridging on something that might be kind of sort of akashic, and she comes out, I'm like, okay, this is as far as I go. The rest you're gonna find out on your own as you journey, right? It's also interesting, though. This is interesting. The journeyman and the keeper. I'm going to pull another card to see what the message from this page of Wands is, the Herald of the Flame. You won't see him until his 80th birthday. Oh, well, hopefully you don't have to wait too long, Holly. I don't know when his birthday is, but it'll be fun to see him again on his birthday, right? Did he like come to visit or something? Your daughter worked there, 14, 18. Ooh. Somebody's daughter made my drink today. Sorry. Okay, Herald of the Flame, Part 2. This is interesting. Oh, there we go. Oh, gosh, they put back on the floor. Ooh, Ace of Cups, though. I feel like this is like one of those, like, ooh, maybe you should meditate more. Maybe you should like connect to us. You don't talk to us like you used to. Where did you go? You got this job and now you don't care about us anymore. I'm like, come on, guys, I'm busy. Ooh, I just found a gem. Where did that card go? Hello? I can't be missing cards. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Where did the card go? Where did the cards go? It's fine. I guess I'll find it later. Because I don't know where the cards went. He came back in October, going back down to travel for a year or more. Oh, well, I'm glad he's getting to travel. Gotcha. That makes sense. Oh, this is interesting. I was actually thinking about Kundalini energy. And I was thinking about Kundalini energy because, again, it was like what was on the right is now coming on the left, and it felt like a braid. The card that came out with the one that just disappeared on the floor somewhere is Judgment, Apocalypse. To clarify, or this is the message that this page is bringing. And it's interesting that this page is bringing Apocalypse because the other page with the tension, something about the sun, the moon, and that frayed rope and the tension, and then the orbs in Apocalypse. But it feels almost molecular in a way. It's like some bonds have to be broken so other bonds can be made or forged. Um, I don't know. It feels atomic. It feels molecular. But maybe it's an maybe it's in an internal way. And I can see that because there are, I did end up watching one of Rob's videos that he did a little bit ago now. And I know Remy popped up. It was in the Shadow Work series of videos where he's like, let's talk about the shadow. And he talked about anger for him. And anger for me when I was younger was huge. I didn't have a fuse. It was extremely short when I was younger. Um, you're terrible at goodbyes. You don't even say good night. Well, oof. You have a beautiful pout. Eve. Hold up, let me fix it. Let me fix this. Let me fix this. Let me bring this into focus. Let me bring this into focus. There we go. I can manually fix it now. So no more blur. This also, it reminds me of that allow the world to be rewritten energy. This feels like almost like it could be a healthy detachment in a way. Because again, it's like breaking bonds and making bonds, breaking certain bonds to make other ones. Or like you have to create space for a bond to be sort of made, or because the line is frayed, but it's not broken. What is this? Apocalypse. It's the Alpha and Omega. Oof. This is not what I expected. This is not what I expected. Eve. Oh, the thing about anger. Okay. So, and I've talked about it before. Um, but there was like I feel like there was a lot of pressure that I learned to put on myself to like not boil over. And part of what helped me to do that was to get like to get deep into the what ifs of why people say and do the things that they say and do, and to also understand, like, it literally took somebody to tell me when I was a child, it literally took me somebody to tell me people can't read minds, so unless you tell them or let them know that they're upsetting you, they're not going to know that they're upsetting you. And she was like, "What am I thinking right now?" I was like, "I don't know." And she was like, "I'm thinking about how like it's a beautiful day outside. It's sunny. It's not too cloudy. It's warm." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I don't know. It took somebody to tell me that people can't read minds, and it's funny because years and years and years later, when I was talking to another friend at that time, he was like, people can't read minds. So unless you tell them that you're upset, or like if they do something and it upsets you and you don't tell them, then it's like it's not fair to them. And I was like, I know people can't read minds, but still, you know what I mean? It's called consideration. People could just be considerate of my feelings. But also, I know that I can be pretty unique in what upsets me and what I care about. Like, there are things that will make me super upset that other people just would not care about. And there are things that would make other people super upset that I'm just like, okay, yeah, okay, whatever. And not whatever in a way to dismiss what someone else is sort of upset about, but it's like, it's whatever to me. So I'm not going to be upset necessarily if it happens to me. And that's something I try to communicate, especially as I get to know somebody. So, snowing in Alaska, why in the winter time? But and it started last year at some point. Did I drink room water that day? I think I yeah, yeah. I drank Ool with Reem. And at first it didn't do anything. So we were gonna drink another room. And then she was like, hold up, it's starting to hit. And she's like, I'm gonna go meditate. And then I meditated, right? And then that was like the dark maelstrom. And then there was this part of me that held like anger, and there was a part of me that can be not as compassionate as I can be. Um, and it was a little bit, it was kind of sort of like destructive energy. And then I remember I was like, no, no. And then I had to go through this whole integration thing. And then I kept seeing like Shiva. Shiva would pop up everywhere for a minute. And I was like, I'd never get like a god deity. It's always been a goddess. It's always been a feminine energy. And then I'm saying like Kali Ma is like, I don't know. Anyway, Shiva was popping up and I was like, what is this? But Shiva also carries an energy. It's like a purification type of destruction. And so I had to go through a whole thing where I like integrated that energy. And then I reached the point where for me, it was like, I don't know, I got comfortable with it. And I've reached the point where it's like it's something that I refuse to repress, or it's something that I refuse to. And I'm not like just out here like, oh, let me be as chaotic and destructive as I can be, right? But I feel like that's a part of this, the archangel of healing with the wounded warrior into the emperor. Because there was strength in that energy that I didn't want for fear of consequences. Um and that's what it reminds me of that. It makes me think of that. Um and it does give me a little bit of a backbone. I have no clue, Holly. I didn't know that was a goddess. I know that's the Yeti in Monsters Inc. He was like, they're lemon flavored. You guys want a snow cone? They're like, no, thank you. He's like, it's lemon flavoring. If there is a goddess of yellow snow and that was offensive, I am so sorry. 70 degrees when you woke up this morning. It was like it got up to 60 here. So like all of the snow has melted. The grass is green again. I didn't need a big old coat. It felt good. Hey Steph, how you doing? Okay, yeah, word. All right, let's go to the last one. This is more than I bargained for. Oof. It's funny though, because the Emperor was actually one of my cards for 2020. I think the Emperor was one of my overall energies for 2021. It was one of my overall energies for 2021. And the Chariot was like one of them as well. And I know for my golden year, Rob pulled the first two cards he pulled were the Emperor and the Moon. And then the Two of Wands, the Three of Wands, Justice, Strength. I think Judgment maybe came out. It was a bunch of stuff. That was before I had like new Rob. Ooh. Oh, snap. Is that the Ten of Pentacles? Ooh. Okay. So Moon in Libra, Mars in Pisces. Pentacles is at the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is going to take it. Ten of Cups and the Two of Swords. This is interesting. Oh, and the Ace of Cups is at the bottom of the deck. So I was thinking about Eve. I was on the way home today and I saw a Florida license plate. It had like the two oranges on it. I was like, what? Florida? I'm all the way in like Midwest in the heart of Illinois. And then right behind the oranges, I saw a peach. It was Florida and then Georgia. And I was like, oh, it's a fruit salad coming down the street. All right. I think there's something else. Anyway, here with that Seven of Swords at the top. Okay, I think I get it. The Ten of Cups and the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords was my card for December, I think, last year. I don't think it popped up for me this year. Let me check and see. Let me check and see. Excuse me. Let me check and see. No. It is a High Priestess month for me. It's a High Priestess month for me this year. Or this month. Next month is the Chariot. Oh, the Two of Swords is here. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Hold up, wait. 2 came out for June. Okay, I was like, that's always June. That's always July. August. August is the Two of Swords in reverse this year. September, October, November. Hold up. Nope. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay, so it's actually September. June, July, August, September. September is Two of Swords in reverse. It happened again. Darn it. Ooh, there's a band called Florida, Georgia. Florida, Georgia line. Oh, snap. Well, there you go. They were going down the street. Hold up. This it's low key. I might have to hit up Remy. This is low key making me think of like iWitch frequency. It's low key. It feels a little like low key iWitch energy. I had a dream that I saw a palace like this and it was red. And I went looking for something And I stepped out of my house, and my house was in the shadow of like this giant red palace. And then I like woke up. I was like, what does that mean? Who knows? You need to finish your year predictions on yourself. You only got half the year done. Ooh. What? I'm so sorry to hear that. So sorry to hear that, Steph. When are y'all gonna do a live stream? I think she said pre-recorded. I think she said pre-recorded. Why does Sagittarius make me think of Goddess Aya? Oh, because Goddess Aya was super scientific. That's why. And for me, that energy lives in Sagittarius. Gemini, Jupiter in Gemini. This is interesting. So the Eight of Swords is in the middle, the captor. This is also interesting. They're different. So the Eight of Swords is here, Jupiter in Gemini. And then Gemini is here with the Lovers. And then the King of Swords is here, the Archangel Commander. There are so many, like, this is the second Archangel. The Archangel of Healing was came out on the other side. Archangel Commander is here now. The Shining Flame was here. The Herald and the Strong Flame, the Herald and the Stronghold of the Flame are here. That's a court energy in every element except for Earth. But the Archangel of Mysteries was at the bottom of the deck when the tension came out, the Two of Pentacles. So I've seen the Archangel of Mysteries. I haven't seen the Archangel of Glory, though. See, but there's something about Jupiter being in Gemini, being an expansive energy in the sword suit leads to the king. There is a little bit of like there is a little bit of an energy of like self-restraint in this though. The Archangel Commander has two swords. There's a sword still in the hilt. That's it's interesting though, because there was the story of Michael with the sword. Like Michael gives you I've talked about it before. Where it's like, we ask Archangel Michael to help excise or cut something out of our lives, and Michael's like, sorry, can't. And we're like, what? Why? And Michael's like, I don't have my sword. And then we're like, what? Where's your sword? And like Michael's like, you have my sword. And we're like, what? How did I get your sword? And then Michael's like, take care of this. And then we take care of it. And then we're like, hey, Michael, here's your sword back. And then Michael's like, that's not my sword, silly. That's your sword. And you're like, what? You said you couldn't help me because I had your sword. And he was like, I'm Michael. Only Michael has Michael's sword. Hello? Did you really think? And you're like, what? Yeah, see, that makes sense. And then he's like, okay, well, let me train you on how to use it. Let me tell you how to use it. Like that sword is your sword. And coming back to this Archangel of Healing with the Malays and the Emperor energy, healing that part and learning to use the strengths of that energy feels like this Archangel Commander that comes out of the capture with the Lovers. And it's interesting though, because Apocalypse has a completed Kabbalah tree of life. In the Lovers, Malkuth is over here. In Apocalypse, Malkuth is below Yesod, where it belongs. But it's disconnected here. It's in the different uh thingy, right? What is this? On the other side, oh snap. Oh, I didn't get a King of Pentacles, but I did get the Page of Pentacles, Stronghold of the Veil, the Angel, and the Chancellor. Justice, Temperance, and the Page of Pentacles energy, all coming out behind the Blind Seer. Oh, this is like, look at that. Oops. See the blindfolds? Now, what's interesting about the Spirit Keeper's Tarot is the captor, the person held in ropes in the Eight of Swords, is actually the angel, is Temperance. And you can tell because the ropes are still like on her, you know. This is the angel freed. This is the angel bound. And it's interesting that there's the energy of the angel bound, and then again, Archangel Commander with the two swords. Um, so I'm going to pull a card for the Stronghold of the Veil to see what that message is. Don't even ask me what this is. Don't even ask me what this is. Don't even ask me. Every month somebody's passing away. I know I think my dad was going through a time where a lot of the people that he used to know growing up were passing away too. I can't even imagine. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry to hear that, Steph. I know I was watching a bit of Rob's live today because before he went live, I was like, hey, can I get some cards? And at the top of the video, he was like, yeah, Patty, you can get some cards. So I sent him a message. I was like, hey, did you pull me any cards? But when I was watching that, oh my gosh, look what's at the bottom of the deck. The Chancellor. Justice. It's interesting that in the Vitruvian Justice, the sky is cloudy. But in Revelation's Justice, there are no clouds in the sky. Or they're dispersed in the sky. You know what I mean? And the card that came out face down. Let's see. Oh gosh. This is hilarious. So the card that came out face down, the message of this Stronghold of the Veil. Look at this. Look at this. How do I hold this up so you can see this? Do you see that? It was the angel. The angel came out. The angel was already out. Justice was at the bottom of the deck. Justice was out. That's kind of wild. But the angel in this deck, they still wear the robes. But it's Janus or Janus. The ropes are still there, but it's like two-headed. See, and I guess they're both facing in the light, and then they're the dark. That's the lunar eclipse. Oh, I thought I was gonna blur. Oh, it blurred. There we go. I feel like this reading is saying time to meditate. Though there is a message for me in here. I did in the SKT Vitruvian edition. I believe there was a section on Akashic Records readings, and I did one. I did it once. I did it once, and it took an hour. I was up in like the wee hours of the night. But and it's interesting that the Emperor is here. The Archangel of Healing, the Malays, creates the Emperor. Because there's a part of it that's like a patrilineal ancestor, or just like the four fathers part of the ancestry, and then the four mothers part of the ancestors. And in the four fathers ancestor message, it came out with something. It came out with stuff that I wasn't doing. It was rough. It was kind of rough. I was like, oof, call me out. Yes. But I guess to no surprise, it seems that it's worked out. Or it's begun to. It's began to. Um, and life just kind of brought me here in a way that I didn't even necessarily notice. So when I talked about how like there was that anger and a fear of like destructive impulses, not that it's really impulses, just a fear of the anger. With that being resolved, it's like there were things that I wouldn't say or that I wouldn't do, or I would be extra non-confrontational because I didn't want to get upset. And I didn't want anybody else to get upset. And I didn't want both of us to be upset at the same time. You know what I mean? But with this 10 of chalices, it feels like there's also an energy here where it's like somewhere along the way, I've gained the strength that it takes to protect a dream. Or because the Three of Pentacles came out. Yeah, that was the first card, the Mason. I like the Mason in the other deck better. I like the Vitruvian Mason. Um, excuse me, but it's like it's the space of the things that I need to do. Interesting. So now I'm gonna see what's at the bottom of every little stack. Oh well. See, I thought that when the Revelations cards matched the Vitruvian cards, I was like, oh, there was like this spinning, twisting, spiraling, braiding energy, and now it's met at the same point. When those like came out with these cards, I was like, oh, the stronghold, the Page of Pentacles is sending a message that this energy is now the same on both sides, right? Because of this. Because of this. And so I pulled the first card because I got three different. I split the deck three times. I pulled the first three cards of each one face down, and then I pulled the fourth card face up, and those are the two I start by showing, right? The bottom of the first deck on the left side is the blind seer. Is the Two of Swords. Like, wait. See, and this is so, like, reading it this way, it's so trippy in that it almost speaks of, and I kind of talked about it a little bit, not necessarily of realizing a potential, but it feels like it speaks to when a seed is planted. This also kind of low key, these two, especially with everything that comes after these first two. Um, there's this energy here where it's like, oof, can you tell I'm trying not to like get emotional? It feels like there are things, not great things that happen in life, and not great things that have happened in life. And I've lived life as I live life in all of my phases. And through all of that, I was seen. And it's funny that the Seven of Pentacles came out the last time. No, the time before last, I was. Whenever the Seven of Pentacles, the Hanged Man, and the Tower came out. It's like instead of Seven Pentacles, because the Seven Pentacles represented like seemingly disparate experiences that work together to grow us in a way where we can make choices and decisions to break cycles, habits, and patterns, and to start to experience something different, to start to experience something more, to open up pathways for the realizations of and like actualizations of like some dreams. You know what I mean? And this Seven of Swords, it's carrying. See you later, Holly. Enjoy tea time. This Seven of Swords is coming out with a very similar energy to that Seven of Pentacles, but the Seven Swords come out in a way it's like, yeah, those were rough. Those were hard. You may have bled. You may have cried. You may have thought that you might have almost died. But it's like in all of that, I was seen. And I used to like, especially when I was, before I had my darkest night, before I had my darkest night, when I was a child and depressed AF, I would reach a low. It's like when I reach my lowest low, I would, there would be an energy there that would like pick me up. And it was like always there. It's like I would go deeper and deeper and deeper. And at that point where I felt like if I went any deeper, I'd be in the danger zone. Sorry. I said I'm singing at the beginning of this. Um, but there would be something that would just like fill me with like light and it would fill me with hope. But when I had my darkest night, I reached that level and that energy wasn't there to pick me up. It was the first time I had like experienced of like a truly apathetic depression. And I was like, oh crap. Like when I came out of it, I was in it for a few days. When I came out of it, I was like, oh crap. Like if I do that, if I hit that point again and I start having certain thoughts, I don't think I'd be capable of stopping myself. And that's when I was like, okay, like I actually have to start. I have to start doing all of the things now. I got to do everything. Because if I reach this point again, I don't think I'm going to come out of it. Uh, but this kind of like the end meeting me at the beginning reminds me of that for some reason. It makes me read the Seven of Swords and the page, the Page of Wands in that context. It expands that context for me. And with the Three of Pentacles, turning the Wheel of Fortune into that Seven of Pentacles energy, again, it's like it's things that happen that, and it's the wheel of life in this deck. As life continues to turn, eventually some of those things, when they break ground, when they germinate, I see them as something capable of seeing them as things that motivated something beautiful. While they were in the dark, girl, it was dark, girl. But after life and healing and things happen, they become something beautiful, or they motivate something beautiful. Oh, is that the Archangel of Healing? Oh my gosh! Wait. And look, okay, this is interesting. There's a lot of healing cards here. So under the Two of Swords, here it is. Under the Two of Swords, like the things that I couldn't see when I was in those spaces is the healer. The healer was under the Two of Swords, so that's everything I was talking about. And I was like, oh, it's interesting that the healer is here because the Archangel of Healing I've seen. And then under the healer is the Herald of the Earth, which again, where'd you go? Where are you? Hello. Oh, right here. The Herald of the Earth. So I've seen corresponding pages. Herald of the Earth, Stronghold of the Earth. I saw the Herald of the Flame and the Stronghold of the Flame. The Herald of the Earth, and it's like this new pinnacle that exists on the other side of some kind of energy. Like this, it feels very like portal energy. This is an Ace of Pentacles that existed on the other side of what I was in when I was there. The future that I couldn't see for myself. Right? And then under that Herald of the Earth is the Archangel of Healing. So it's the healer, the Herald of the Earth, and the Archangel of Healing again. I saw the halo. And I was like, oh snap, is that the Archangel of Healing? You were here next to the Malays. There you are. The Archangel of Healing. Right? And then under the Archangel of Healing is the Four of Swords, the Convalescent, which is another healing card. It's another card of healing and resting and rejuvenation. Like the Convalescent, it's an energy of like literally healing. But I'll ask Siri. Hey Siri, define convalescent.
As an adjective, convalescent means of a person recovering from an illness or operation. Do you want to hear the remaining one?
Yes. No, it's the same. It's the same. A person who is recovering from an illness or an operation. I was like, what? Look at all this healing at the bottom of the deck. And it's like, again, with the blindfold. It's like things I would never see. Interesting. What's at the bottom on the other side? The Chariot. Ooh. The Chariot, the Reaper, and the Conservator. The Conservator is interesting because the Conservator, like, I know what this is. Um, This is Sun in Capricorn. I've seen Mars in Capricorn, the Moon in Capricorn, Sun in Capricorn, the Two of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles, and here's the Four. But it feels like this feels like Emperor energy, but it's a trapped Emperor energy. So like before all of that healing and stuff, it's almost like the power that I was lacking. But anyway, so the bottom of the deck is the Chariot and Death. The Chariot, Death, and then the Conservator. So there is an opening up. Oh, look, behind that is the Dynasty, Ten of Pentacles. There is an opening up after this with this death energy, and it comes with the Chariot. For me, it all came when I reached that point again where I was like, I have to move. I I have to move. I gotta go through this transformation. Because if I don't start to heal and address all of these things, there's again, it's like it's not gonna work out for me, this life thing. Oof, grow. Now we have the Ebony Shield. Oh, snap. So here's a court earth energy. The Ebony Shield. It's interesting. It wasn't this. It wasn't this? Maybe it was this. Yeah. See, it almost feels like the Ebony Shield and then New World Order. The world is behind the Ebony Shield. It feels like this Ebony Shield is inside of one of these buildings that the Eight of Swords is too preoccupied to enter. Oof. I feel like this just took on a whole other tone, which is fine. Also, with New World Order and the Death card, they're at opposite rays. And in the Spirit Keeper's Tarot, the one in the middle is the angel. Or I could have used this angel. Oh, oh yeah, okay. I didn't catch it because the angel again. The angel is the captor freed. The angel is the free captor. It's easier to tell in the Vitruvian edition. And I feel like, again, it's like this energy is inside of one of the buildings here. But I was too preoccupied to, like, I feel like that whole. And it's interesting that it's a lunar eclipse because it feels like experiences, not great experiences, colored that more, I don't want to say the more intuitive side of me, but you're intrigued by the Ebony Shield. Ooh, the Ebony Shield holds many mysteries. It's not Virgo, Capricorn. energy. Oof. It's the Queen, Cardinal, Earth, Capricorn, all this Capricorn all over the place. Saturn actually is my guiding planet. I didn't find that out until I looked up or I got on an astrology app. They say the planet behind your sun is your guiding planet. So my guiding planet is Saturn at 23 degrees Aquarius. My sun is at 10 degrees Pisces, 5 and 10. And then my Venus is my ruling planet. So I'm in between Venus and Saturn, which is so me if you can't tell. Anyway, yeah, I feel like, again, because the angel Freed would be able to go into that space. And it feels like there's something I haven't even begun to experience yet fully. It feels like this energy feels so much like this one. But this one is like, at least now I'm on the same side. You know what I mean? Now this Ace of Pentacles isn't through this whole dimensional portal, quantum healing, whatever. Oh, this was here. My cards are getting all mixed up. Where's the Chariot? Here it is. That was at the bottom. And it is interesting. It's a new world order. And the Ace of Pentacles in the shield. It's also interesting. The King, the Archangel of Mysteries, the Archangel Commander has a shield and a sword. The Ace of Swords and the Vitruvian edition shows the shield and the sword. The Ace of Swords and the Tarot of Dreams shows the scabbard. I don't know if I have any other decks that show the Ace of Swords with the shield. I don't know. But anyway, this was here. These are down here. On the other side, the bottom of that, the second row, is the Seeker. Spirit in search of science and knowledge, Uranus. Your ninth house is stacked. What? You have a ninth house stellium? What sign is that for you? If I had to guess. Wait. It would have to be fire, right? Are you an Aries fire? I think you're an Aries fire. Or are you a Sag fire? Are you a Leo fire? Hold up. I don't know. The Seeker is also interesting. Going back to this energy, going back to this Queen of Pentacles ebony shield being inside of like one of these buildings in the Eight of Swords, Aries moon, Sag rising. Oh snap. Wait, I know you're rising. Oh, I know you're rising. Yeah, because you just told me. So you have is it a ninth house like Aries stellium then? Because then that would make sense. Right? No, that would be Leo. That would be Leo if your Sag is rising. So that would be Leo ish. I guess you didn't say that it was a fire stellium in your ninth house. But anyway. Or Virgo. It's not Virgo. Is it Virgo? Is it Virgo? No, because that would be, what is it? Every 3. So if Sag is 1 and we take it back to 9, that's 13. So 4 back, yeah, that would be like Leo. Is it Leo? Leo, Virgo. Leo Virgo area. So the seeker is here. I've already talked about the seeker. I don't know. The seeker. So the seeker is at the bottom of the deck on the second row, right side. And it's also on the bottom of the deck, third row, left side. I got two seekers. See, but there was the seeking process that would have led me. Yeah, see, okay. So there's the seeking process that would have had to involve me breaking this Eight of Swords energy to find the queen inside of one of these buildings, right? But now there's the seeking process inside of the building. And this is the energy, like, I feel like I don't communicate it right. I feel like I can't communicate it in a way that truly defines how I feel and how I'm viewing it. There was a point in time where it was very that, but it's shifted and evolved. And it's like when I was saying, like, I lived my whole life knowing who I was when I was less me. I knew who I was when I was like non-confrontational and I didn't want to cause any arguments, and when I didn't really have any real dreams or goals or ambitions because I didn't believe I had a future. I knew who I was then. And the me who, like, I didn't live a lot of my life being the me who is like open and curious and who's extroverted and who loves getting to know people and who's like more active and who isn't so like sedentary and isolationistic. And so it's like, I feel like I'm discovering or kind of like rediscovering that part of me, but I feel like I'm discovering who I can be now. And I feel like this is that energy, right? Now, and like you can see, it's like inside there are these many, many doors inside all of those different pathways up there. My Mercury is in Pisces in my 12th house, retrograde. My Mercury is struggling. My Mercury is not happy in the house. It's not happy in the sign, and it's retrograde. Oof. But this is that energy for me. This is also, it reminds me of the Mason in the Vitruvian edition. That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay, yeah, yeah. Mhm. And then lastly, the bottom of the deck on the other side is the High Priestess. That's interesting. So the bottom of the deck on the right side in the Vitruvian edition, the Chariot, the Seeker, the High Priestess. On the left side, it was, who was at the bottom? The Two of Swords, the Blind Seer, the Ebony Shield, and the Seeker. It's interesting that the Blind Seer and the High Priestess are kind of sort of both here. And look, it's that same triangle with the eye in the middle, but that one is like upright and like life. I don't know. And the Hanged Man, the outlaw, is behind that High Priestess. And the Ivory Shield. This is the Ivory Shield that be giving me eyes. Like, don't you go there. I'm like, okay. And that's why I'll be like, the rest is for you to discover. Because I ain't trying to have nobody, protectors, guardians, whatever, after me. There are things that we are to know when it is our time to know them. And if we were to know those things before our time, I mean, I guess the wheel of life would steal whatever, but it can be detrimental sometimes. But that ivory shield again, that's interesting. And under the ivory shield is the bereaved. This is interesting because under this Chancellor Justice card, I've been looking at her, but I'm like, okay, I don't know what you're here for. Oh, snap! Wait. The Three of Swords bereaved. It was said every time I picked up that Justice card, it was there looking at me. Under the bereaved is the last archangel that I hadn't seen. The Archangel of Glory. That's wild. Okay. All right. Well, girl, what was this? I don't know. That's interesting. It's almost like congratulations on getting this far. Now life actually begins. And I'm excited. I'm ready. There were so many layers to that. I love doing this side, that side. I love it. It's always interesting. I think that's the first time I've done this though, where I didn't get a single tie. I didn't get a king and a queen. I didn't get majors coming out on both sides at the same time. I didn't get the same number coming out at the same time. Each time it was definitive, like which side won. And it was more Revelations than Vitruvian. At first it was Vitruvian, and then it was Revelations, and then it was Revelations again. Which, it's growthy, right? You know what I mean? That was interesting. I'm still like, oh, I left Justice out. The Chancellor with the ebony shield at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Don't ask me what the scene over. I guess I've noticed because last time I was live towards the end of the video, I talked about why maybe not necessarily why, but I talked about how I first started using tarot. What my intention was. I was like to highlight and illuminate the things that I can't see because I'm trying to heal the F out of everything. Because I can't do this Dark Knight stuff again. I ain't gonna last. I'm not gonna make it. The Bread of Life. Ace of Pentacles. This is interesting because of... Oh my gosh. I got the angel still on the table. I ain't even got the deck all together. But the Bread of Life is interesting because the Journeyman and the Seeker. See, but with the Bread of Life, the Ace of Pentacles is being presented. And this card, it looks like the Journeyman is creating that. Like that's the seventh work that they complete before they reach the mastery and get the living wand. And the enchanted forest, the forest of whatever is in the back. I don't remember. But I guess they both kind of have that energy of like the mystery that lies in the back after this is received. Okay. Oh my gosh, here's another card. I didn't even put the tension back. Oof. And I still got to find the card that was on the floor. This was interesting. Very, very interesting. Oh, at the cut, that high priestess with the journeyman. I was like, you don't even know. You don't even know. You're like, you're right. I don't know nothing right now. I'm just living life. Not necessarily winging it. I'm flowing in my experience. I need to find that card that fell out though. Final message from the Vitruvian edition of the Spirit Keeper's Tarot. Hey Siri, what time is it? It's almost 9 o'clock. Oh my gosh. I forgot my lunch in the back seat today. Ooh. Oh, okay, that's kind of cute. I guess it could be cute. Question mark. The devil came out. I'm like, oh, what is this? But then the conservator came out. A conservator is a protector, supposed to be a protector. And it's Sun in Capricorn, followed by Mars in Capricorn. This is the Mason that I like because it's building that into who knows where. And then behind that, Mason is the High Priestess. The Moon. Oh, see, there's also an energy here. Because there's something about it feels like in the devil, like the elements are confounded in some way. There's a lot of, because of the energy, there's a lot of like almost misconception. There's a lot of darkness. But when you bring the sun into this space, it's like you see the truth. Like this is the wizard. That's the man behind the curtain. It's almost like, again, it kind of sort of carries through that Seven of Swords energy with the Three of Pentacles. Oh, look, here's the Three of Pentacles again. The Three of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Seven of Pentacles turning over. Oh, it was the Seven of Pentacles that came out in that reading. And I said the Seven of Swords feels like that Seven of Pentacles, but it's a lot harsher because there's swords. So the Wheel of Fortune was, it was like turning those swords into pentacles to serve as something that can benefit the foundation. It churned the sword. It's like it ground the swords into dust that was compacted into pentacles. And that's the journeyman right here. That's this energy of compacting. So it's almost like it's turning sword dust into pentacles by like with pressure. And then after it's compacted, the Wheel of Fortune turns that into things that I can build a foundation, like a better foundation on trying to get into that Three of Pentacles energy. And again, hey Kizzy Cat, hey Kirsty, how are you? Kirsty is up real early, right? Because I think she's 6 hours, so that would be 14. That's 2 a.m. early. Is it almost 3 a.m.? Oh my gosh. Are you up early or late? Are you up late or early? That's a valid question, Eve. That is a valid question. Because it's like almost 3 a.m. You're up early. Okay. Ooh, you're up real early. All right. But there's something also in this. It's like in light, you can see the elements as earth and air and water and fire. It's not this mystical, magical, who knows what the F mess. Oh, you can't sleep. I know I've been putting on Michael Seeley. This video is not sponsored by Michael Seeley, but those Michael Seeley sleep videos, I go to sleep when I put it on. Isn't like 3 a.m. like do they call that like witching hour or something like that? I don't know. It's the time where you receive special downloads or something like that. I don't know. But that's what this feels like. It feels like it was a journey of like breaking chains and bringing things into light. This could have also been a toxic element within self. I mean, I'm sure I had some kind of toxic masculine energy somewhere, right? Because like this is the toxic part, but this is the healed and elevated part. Also, again, is that imagery of the pinnacle sort of in hand. Maybe it's a little bit of a warning to not hold on too tightly, though, to allow experiences to continue to flow. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. I'll live life and I'll let you know. I'll live life and I'll let you know. Between 3 and 4 a.m. Oh, snap. I woke up at sometime. I don't know. I'll wake up and I'll be like, hey, Siri, what time is it? And then Siri will tell me what time it is. I'm like, okay, I'm going back to sleep. I love Siri. Okay. Let me try to find this. Let me try to find this. Like, literally, I don't know where it could be. Hello? Hello. I got a bottle of gin on the floor. Where is it? Is this it? No, that's not it. There's my water. Oh, this is it. Oh, snap. How did y'all get down here? How did you get under my water bottle? Hello? How'd that work? So it's 2 cards. The 2 cards that fell on the floor when I went and I looked for the cards that the Herald of the Veil was bringing. What flipped out? Not Judgment. The Angel. The Angel flipped out and Justice was at the bottom of the deck. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's wild. So the 2 cards that flipped out, it's the Golden Shield and the Corruptor. I mean, I'll take some protection against corruption. Venus and Scorpio with the Golden Shield. It's interesting that the Golden Shield was on the floor behind the Corruptor. Oh, the Golden Shield was on the floor behind the Corruptor. The Archangel of Glory was behind the Bereaved. So King of Wands energy was behind the 3 of Swords, behind Justice. The Queen of Swords was with the 7 of Cups on the floor. See, that's an energy. It almost reads as like not being made so bitter by grief and by like failed relationships and stuff like that. Not that there's necessarily an extended amount. Well, it's like not being made so bitter that it like twists, it completely twists and corrupts me, or where it makes me like act or behave in a way that's not me. I didn't make it that far. I was just like, I'm not gonna get to know anybody. I want to be it was dark. It was ugly. It was not great. I didn't want to have to need nobody. I was like, I'd rather be on the street and starve than ask anybody for help. Including family. And the one time I really gotten into an argument with my mom, I didn't talk to her for months. I'm a mama's boy. I ain't talked to her for months. I was like, I'm gonna prove to her that I don't need her. And I did. And in hindsight, I think I also needed that opportunity to prove to myself that I could be more not self-sufficient, but to prove to the both of us. It's like through that she learned that I can take care of myself. Through that I learned that I can take care of myself. And then
because that was 2017, May 2017, maybe like the 15th. It was the end of the semester in May of 2017. And then come January, well, yeah, no, come when I had my darkest night. So like November 2018. So like a year and a half ish later. That's when I knew I had to start healing that. And so I actually went through a moment January, more like February, March, April. February, March, April, where I had to depend on my family so I wouldn't be homeless and starving on the street. I was like, wow. Yeah. I was like, okay, well, look at me all humbled. But it was a part of the healing that I needed to do too. Um, but yeah, I think I reached out to her. It might have been like the end of October or November. So that happened in May and it went all the way. That's 5 or 6 months. I didn't talk to her. And my aunt, she was like, your mom ended up falling and hurting herself and she was in the hospital and like you didn't even like call or whatever. Like you should talk to her. You should apologize. And I was like, I don't feel like I'm the only person that has to apologize. Ooh, girl, I was a mess. It was dark. That was my mom. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Well, this deck is complete now. Hold up. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. The conservator again. LOL. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How did this get in here? Oh, and it's the bereaved. 8, 9, 40. The Archangel of Mysteries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60. Apocalypse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 80. 1, 82 with the Archangel of Healing. I think there's only supposed to be 81 cards. There's 80 plus the title card. Did I miscount? Or do I have another card in here? Been there, lived out of your car one summer and refused to ask for help. You did that yourself too, was homeless with the kids. Yeah. It was yeah, I was like, I don't want to need anybody, including family. And I wanted to live my life in a way where I would be okay. Like I would be emotionally okay if I found myself without family. I was going through, I mean, it was a lot to mentally deal with when I was the age that I was. And I made some choices and decisions that were not great. Yeah. It's kind of why happiness became a trigger for my depression. So, times were rough. It was rough. Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Ooh, with the initiate now. Oof, turn you back over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40 with New World Order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60 with the dynasty. Okay, now I'm down to 1 extra card instead of 2 extra cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 71, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 81 with the Archangel of Healing. Okay, so I have all 81 cards. That is the 7. It's the 78 base plus 2 Fools for the Seeker, the Initiate, and the Keeper, plus the title card being 81. And apparently there's a card, the Bereaved, the one that was hiding the Archangel of Glory. And it's funny because, again, the Ivory Shield, the Golden Shield came out, Queen of Wands. The King of Wands was behind this energy. So I guess it's interesting that it somehow managed to find its way over here. I don't know. What is this? I don't know. I do know, in part. Ooh, that's gorgeous. Venus and Aries. Okay, my Venus is in Aries. Okay. Which is my Venus is in Aries in my 12th house. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Rob! Oh, snap. Oh, snap. I would ask if you want a card, Rob. But you didn't pull me any. I'm just playing. Okay, final message from... Oh, okay, all right. I don't know if that's the Archangel of Healing. No. Okay. It's the Herald of the Earth again. You know, I would have just taken in general, you know, just whatever comes out. I was like, oh snap, I gotta watch and see if Rob actually pulled it. The Herald of the Earth came out. The bottom of the deck is the Chancellor, Justice. I'm gonna pull this card, the Emperor. The Emperor is the message of the Herald of the Earth. It was Archangel of Healing, the Malays, and the Emperor. Okay, work. Work, sis. Yes. They're kind of looking at each other too, which is interesting. Oh, it's different in this deck. And this deck, it's this thing. I was like, the Emperor's usually holding a little orb thing. It's fine, Rob. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. No mustache for Patrick. I got lined up a little bit. And I was like, I kind of want to cut my eyebrows. I don't know. This is like the 3rd time in the past year? 2 years. Year or 2? 2 years or a year. I don't know. The 3rd time in the past year or 2 when I was like, oh, I wonder if I just cut my eyebrows, if I just shaved my eyebrows off, they'll grow back. Right? Right? I don't know. Eyebrows are technically eye mustaches. The eyebrow is the eye mustache above the face of the eye. Excuse me. That's interesting. The Chancellor, the Herald of the Earth, and the Emperor. Okay, word. And the Emperor is reading. This Emperor is educating himself. Those fuzzy caterpillars get around. It stops sweat from falling in your eyeballs. Okay, yeah. I gotta keep my eyebrows in. I gotta keep them. I sweat too much. I sweat too much to get rid of my eyebrows. Oof. Thank you. Thank you, Kirsty. Because I would have made that mistake. I would have made that mistake and be like, oh my gosh, why am I constantly getting sweat in my eyes? Am I going to reshuffle this? I am. I'm going to reshuffle this deck because it was not complete. That's fine. Oof, get rid of that devil energy. Yes, please. Was it painful and heartbreaking? Yeah, sure. But, you know, I don't want to live in pain all my life. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, final message. Rob, I was going to send you a message yesterday and be like, hey, you want to play some Diablo? But I was so sleepy. I slept in. And I think I might have went live for a little bit. And then I was like, I'm tired. Okay. Final message from the Vitruvian edition. Oh, no. Oh, maybe. So the Ten of Cups fell out in this little mini stack. I'm not taking all of them, but I could have for the Ten of Cups. I'd have seen the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups and New World Order. Love that. Just like one or two cards? Okay. 2 cards. Fine. Ooh. Saturn and Pisces, the Defector. 8 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Stronghold of the Zephyrs and the Emperor. There's that Emperor again. With a different page. This time it's with the Page of Swords instead of the Page of Pentacles. And this time the Emperor is looking away from the Page of Swords. The Emperor was looking towards the Page of Pentacles. And the Page of Pentacles was looking at the Emperor. So maybe, and then with this 8 of Cups energy here, maybe it is about that Emperor energy transiting from like a mental space to a more physical space, which could be read as embodying. It's like it's about being more than an emperor of the mind. It's about being an emperor in reality, which sounds like responsibility. Ooh, which is fine. I'm not triggered by responsibility anymore. Ooh, the Knight of Wands. Okay. Oh, the Knight of Wands actually came out. It was the Stronghold of the Flame, the one that had the dragon on it. Page of Swords is bringing the Knight of Wands. Oh, snap. It's a little bit of like, what do you want to do? Energy. A little bit. It's a little like, what do you want to do? What do you want to put your energy towards? Like, what do you want to create in the world? With the Emperor, it's like it's using something that already exists. It's not necessarily birthing anything into fruition necessarily. Saturn and Pisces. Saturn and Pisces is the one that can come up with a plan to actualize a dream. It's like Saturn is the energy of like creating the plan in Pisces. Jupiter like fills in the details in Pisces. And then Mars in Pisces puts in the action to make it a reality. That's the 8, the 9, and the 10 of Cups. Saturn in Pisces, Jupiter in Pisces, Mars in Pisces. And it's interesting because we'll see Saturn in Pisces as like, oof, energy. We see Saturn anywhere as like, oof, energy. Mars in Pisces was the reason why I started my second channel. Speaking of fire, oh my gosh, Mars and Pisces was the thing that got me, because at the time, it was around the time that the North Node had shifted into Gemini. It was around the time of a lot of reinvigorated unrest in the country. Around that time. And everybody who I was watching at the time was like, oh, Mars and Pisces, like Pisces being ruled by Neptune, it's an energy of like delusions, fantasies, things that aren't real. So Mars and Pisces, it's going to be having you like acting out in these like delusional ways, and like you're going to be doing all of this stuff. And then when Mars gets out of Pisces, you're going to be like, it doesn't even matter. And then one day I was like flipping through the cards. Actually, I think I might have had that channel before Mars was in Pisces, because I think I posted it to the Instagram for my second channel back when I was doing like a card a day. I was thinking about doing it again, but we'll see. And I was like, the 10 of Cups is Mars and Pisces. I was like, oh my gosh. 10 of Cups is like, Mars and Pisces is literally the energy of the 10 of Cups. And everybody who I'm watching that calls themselves an astrologer, it's like telling people not to engage with Mars and Pisces energy. Like, that's literally the 10 of Cups. Like, what? And then that's one of the major reasons why I fell out with astrology. One of them, but it's fine. And maybe that's another energy of the Emperor. It almost reminds me of the Hierophant with the 5 of Swords. It's when we have to do what isn't easy. And that's also the 8 of Cups too. Doing what isn't easy. This is interesting. Saturn in Pisces. Right now, Mars is in Aries. Mars is exalted in Aries. Oh, this is also interesting. These decks have been doing this tonight. So this is the Page of Pentacles that the Emperor came out with. In this Emperor card, you see the bird in the back and the Ark of the Covenant, which is interesting. But there's the bird in the back of the Emperor. The Emperor is looking at the bird. Now, well, this Emperor is a bird. Oh, that's interesting too. Because it's almost like two different forms of the Emperor. Like, instead of it being a vampire where it turns into a bat, it can turn into this falcon. The two different forms of the Emperor. But I was going to say it's interesting because a bird is here in the Page of Swords. And it came out with the Emperor. Anyway, that's all. That is all. There's also this energy is super mobile. Yeah, Rob. Yeah, I fell out with astrology when that was happening. Like people were like, oh, I don't even want to get into it. That's the reason, like that literally was the catalyst for me coming into my fire and my air. I was like, this is ridiculous. I was like, it's fine. It's fine. I don't have to get into it. I don't have to get into it. All of the videos are still up. So just like watch from May to like July of 2020. And it's a mess. It's a lot of chili peppers. I eventually mellowed out. Don't go back. But yeah, I eventually mellowed out a little bit. Oof. Oof. Bold words, Rob. Hashtag not all astrologers, of course. Also, we are and were where we are and were. We were where we were at the time. Um, Times have changed a lot. Attitudes have changed, maybe. But it's not to worry about all that. You know? For me, it did exactly what it needed to do for me. And I think that's one thing that I tried to be very um, upfront about at the time. Because that was something that it really became so apparent to me when all of that was happening. I was like, I know I'm seeing the people who I need to see right now. And they're saying the things that I need, or they're not saying the things that I feel should be said so that I use my own voice. Because if I heard other people saying certain things that I was feeling, or like, you know what I mean? Like what I was feeling from the energy and the trajectory and the path that I was sort of seeing, if I would have heard other people or seen somebody else talk about it in that way, I would have felt that I didn't have to say anything. I would have just been like, oh, somebody else is saying it. So, I can keep quiet. I don't got to do anything. But I didn't. I needed that push to find my voice. And I knew that. I was like, I know I'm having the experience that I'm meant to have so that I come into this. But really? This is what y'all doing? And that's something that I try to carry with me. I try to carry with me as I go. I'm hungry. I just got real hungry. Hungry. So, with all of that, this was a self read. So, if you watch this, hopefully you find something in it. If you don't find anything in it, maybe I'm not for you, and that's fine. I don't have to be for everybody. I don't have to be for anybody. I could be for myself and kind of be okay with that. One thing I've noticed living life as Patrick is how much I enjoy my own company. I make myself laugh. I entertain myself. But, at the same time, thank you, Eve, Kizzy Cat, Rob, Holly, Steph, for being here. It was interesting. This was interesting. Very interesting. It's the mustache. Oof, no astrologers were hurt in the making of these opinions. It'll do it. Ah, Kirsty. That's hilarious. Just get the mirrored sunglasses and go full motorcycle cop. Get the handlebars mustache. Just go for it. You look better in the trucker hat, though. I could see that. All right, I'm like really hungry. Excuse me. I hope that you are acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. I hope that you allow things to be what they are in the time that they are to be what they're meant to be for you. And I hope that you find the openness or perspective to allow those things that needed to be something for a certain time to become something else, if they are to be something else. And I hope you're having a good whatever whenever you see this. The first thing I usually say, I'll say last today because I forgot. So yeah, no problem, no problem. Hopefully you can get some sleep before you gotta start your day. Or if you don't, hopefully you're not too tired. Hopefully you get that energy, I don't know. Thank you for being here. And I will catch y'all later. Have a good one.